Well, hello everyone. Thank you obviously for coming. We're really excited to have you here for the experience that we're creating around Windows 8. My name is Cappossela and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer for Microsoft based in Seattle. I'm thrilled to be here in Mexico for a couple of days to talk to our partners and our customers and the local team here in Microsoft to help launch Windows 8 itself. We're very excited about Windows 8, but I thought I could put it in the context of the broader Microsoft strategy or initiatives, so give you a little bit of a sense of how it fits in. We are really excited to have the broadest set of blockbuster consumer products that we're bringing to the world right now than we've ever had before. Windows 8 is a big, big part of that, of course, and you'll see a lot of computers and you'll hear a lot about Windows 8 over the next couple of days. But we're also really excited about Windows Phone. Windows Phone 8 is coming soon, and we've had some wonderful success with Windows Phone in Mexico through a wonderful partnership we have with Nokia. And we've seen tremendous success with the actual Windows Phone in this country. So we're excited not just to bring Windows 8 to market, but also to bring Windows Phone 8 to market. We're also very excited about what's going on with Xbox. Xbox has enjoyed tremendous success here in Mexico, and we've got some wonderful things coming to Xbox this holiday season. We have 5 new games from Microsoft that are coming to the Xbox platform. The biggest is likely, of course, to be Halo 4, and that launches on November 6th here in Mexico, and the enthusiasm around Halo 4 has just been tremendous. And so we're excited to get that hardcore gaming audience really psyched this Christmas or this holiday season for Halo 4, for Forza, for a whole new set of games from Microsoft and from our third-party game providers who are doing some amazing work too. Xbox isn't just about games anymore. Most people think of it still as a gaming console that you put in your living room, and we feel quite honored that so many consumers have welcomed Xbox into their living room. But we've done a lot to make Xbox a lot more than a gaming console. Now, today, more people use Xbox to listen to music, to watch their favorite TV shows, and to watch movies. Then they use Xbox to game with their friends over the internet. It's literally reached that tipping point where it's much more of an entertainment service than it is a gaming console. So this holiday, we'll have wonderful games, Halo 4, Fable, Forza, etc., but we're also thrilled to be bringing a brand new user interface to the Xbox that looks a heck of a lot like Windows 8 and Windows Phone 8. And we're really excited to be bringing new services to the Xbox platform, music, TV, movies, that don't just work on your Xbox connected to your TV, but they also work on all your Windows 8 devices. Whether it's a tablet that you're gonna hold in your lap to watch a movie, or whether it's a desktop computer or an Ultrabook notebook that you might listen to music while you do some of your work, or whether it's your Windows Phone that you might listen to music while you're on the train or a plane. We want Xbox to make your entertainment more amazing across all of the devices that you use, not just the gaming console that happens to be in your living room. So as we bring Windows 8 to market, we're excited about Windows 8. We're excited about the new user interface. We're excited about the applications that developers are building. We're excited about the new hardware, tablet devices like this one, beautiful Ultrabooks like this one. We're really, really excited about all of these things, but it's not just about Windows 8. It's actually about the broader ecosystem that goes into Windows 8, meaning gaming, meaning video and music, meaning Office. Okay, let me just log into this while we sit here. So having a beautiful tablet or a beautiful Ultrabook like this one and a beautiful tablet like this one, and having Office across all of them, including my phone, and having Xbox Entertainment across all of them, including my phone, which I can't hold up because I only have 2 hands. We're quite excited about all of that. And that's just a little bit of context that I wanted to provide before I open it up for any questions that you might have. I'll hold these up again since the cameras are whirring. So with that, let me ask if people have any questions or thoughts that they would like me to address. And you can ask in any language you would like, and someone will help me. While holding, my arms are getting tired. Well, they are pretty light. Yes,
any new
please.
developments in the Connect sense, in the sense that there's been a lot of stuff done by third parties, enriching the whole user experience in science, in gaming, in even work with people with disabilities regarding the Connect sensors. Will we see more development or more help from Microsoft in that sense now that there's this whole ecosystem that it might get into?
Yeah, I mean, we certainly are excited about the new content that's coming to Xbox that utilizes the Kinect technology. We have traditional hardcore games that have been Kinect enabled, so you can now use gestures and your voice while you're playing those games to make the games more interesting. For example, with Forza, which is a pretty deep racing game, you now can look left and right while you're playing the game. Kinect will recognize that and change the camera, so you're looking out the left window or the right window while you're driving. That's a nice example. You can talk to during some of the games to change what your teammates are doing during the game. So we're Kinect enabling lots of games. We're Kinect enabling the entertainment experience. So, it's fun to see a 4-year-old stand in front of her television and her Kinect and talk to it and say, Xbox, Bing, Harry Potter. And we'll recognize that. We'll go off and search all of the different entertainment platforms and bring back all of the Harry Potter content. And then she can just use her hands to wave through, select the content that she wants, whether it's with her gestures or with her voice. That's amazing. We're doing that with Kinect itself on Xbox. We've opened up Kinect through the SDK, and now people are doing pretty stunning things with Kinect attached to Windows PCs. We see amazing work happening in fashion, where people are doing really interesting things to let you stand in front of a big screen, maybe in a retail store or even in sort of a dressing room, and try on different clothes that are in the store without actually having to take your clothes off and try them on. You can see what you look like with those clothes. We're seeing a lot of physical therapy applications where people can actually do exercises with the Kinect on the TV, and it'll count how many times they're doing the exercise correctly and unlock points and achievements and use some of those gaming concepts for physical therapy to recover from something that's happened. The science and medical fields are sort of taking off with it. We don't have any new announcements to make relative to what we're doing with Kinect beyond Kinect enabling games and Kinect enabling entertainment. But I'd say we're completely thrilled that the world has seen this as an amazing innovation from Microsoft, and they've seen the possibilities beyond what you can do in the living room with games, and they're starting to apply it to every field in every industry we can imagine. And that's puts us in a very humble, thankful position. And stay tuned for more to come from Microsoft. We're incredibly pleased with the reception.
One question.
Yes.
Hi, I understand that all these strategies for to promote Windows 8 for new devices, tablets, smartphones. But what's the strategy you are going to follow for the current owners of Windows powered machines, to people who may be able to upgrade their machines to Windows 8? What are you going to do to bring them to Windows 8?
We have a really wonderful set of options for people who already have a Windows XP machine or a Windows 7 machine. We make it very, very easy for people to get the new software. They can do it by walking into a retail store and leveraging our retail partners. They can do it directly from the internet and just download, pay for the upgrade and download it to their existing machine. We feel like just about any Windows 7 machine can run Windows 8, and all of the applications that you're running on Windows 7 will run on Windows 8. So it's an incredible compatibility story. With over 1 billion Windows users, We know there are a lot of people who'd like to just get the software and put it on their existing machine. And then we know there's a whole bunch of people who will say, you know what, I want a beautiful new Ultrabook. This is a touchscreen Ultrabook from Acer, and they're not going to want to put Windows on their existing machine because it doesn't have a touchscreen. We want to make both of those consumers happy, and we've done the work to do both of those things. Let me spread the wealth a little and make sure I can. Actually, I should let you monitor the questions as opposed to me. Sorry about that.
Can you explain the rationale behind including the desktop mode in Windows RT?
So Windows 8, all Windows 8 all Windows 8 devices, all Windows 8, no matter where you put Windows 8, there is a desktop mode, so you can quickly get back to the traditional user interface that you're used to. It's very useful if you're running old-style applications. If you have an old copy of Office, or you have an old version of QuickBooks, or whatever application you might be used to running with the old user interface, the little red X in the corner, the minimize and maximize buttons. And we wanted to make sure that 1 billion Windows users had a very natural way to move forward to Windows 8. Unlike some of our competitors, we didn't abandon the old mode. We wanted to provide a way for people to work however they are comfortable. We know that probably younger people are going to adopt to this new user interface and use this new user interface for the predominant amount of work they do on the device. But we know people who are very accustomed to working in the old way are going to be very comfortable finding that desktop icon, clicking on it, and being able to go back to the older model. Some people will stay in this mode for a while. Some people will flip right to the new start screen and the new style applications. We wanted to support both of those sort of modes, if you will, to make sure we didn't abandon 1 billion people who are very comfortable with a particular way of working.
Okay, but that works very well with 8x86 with Intel or AMD chips. But if you have an ARM chip, you're limited to Office and painting something else.
Well, you're limited to any software that's built for ARM that'll run on the device. There's a browser, there's Office, there's the Windows Explorer, and then there's a massive army of developers out there building software. And of course, they can build applications that target a particular chipset if they want to. And we thought including the desktop mode across both the RT and the Windows 8 experience was really important for that consistency.
Okay, but one more. You can build an app that will run on ARM and will run on the desktop mode in an ARM device with Windows 8.
I think we're going to see a whole slew of amazing applications that take advantage of Windows 8 in all its chipsets and all its form factors. And we wanted to provide a pretty comprehensive way for people to do that.
One question here. Getting back to this question, do you think people will understand easily the difference between RT and Win8?
I think over time people will understand it. Obviously, anytime you come up with a new platform, it is the job of the company, Microsoft, plus our partners, our retail partners where people shop, to do a great job explaining the differences, not just between Windows RT and Windows 8, but also the differences between a tablet computer and an Ultrabook or a desktop, and why would you want to buy one versus the other. One of the beautiful things about Windows that's very different than our competitors is we have an incredible variety of choice for people to think about. And with that comes a responsibility to help people figure out what's best for them. Some people will want a tablet without a keyboard. Some people will want this tablet, this particular tablet, actually has a keyboard. And I can just click this in and then use this essentially as a laptop. So there's a new style of device called a convertible, that when you put it on the desk, you might want that keyboard, but when you want to watch a movie on your lap, you just pop the screen out. So our entire ecosystem will be working hard to make sure we can explain and help consumers think through what the best device is for them. Whether it's an Ultrabook where the screen doesn't come off, or whether it's a convertible where the screen does, those are all things that we're excited to do. But we think choice is a wonderful thing. We think it's fantastic that people will be able to choose from a whole variety of form factors, a whole variety of applications, and we think that's a real competitive advantage Microsoft has over some of our competitors.
One question at the back there, and then
Hi.
tell me, what about Skype? When are we going to see new features in new Windows 8? What are we going to see about Skype?
So, we'll have a great version of Skype that's optimized for Windows 8 on the launch day, October 26th. There was some news that we shared the other day, literally about the new Skype application on Windows 8, and some videos have appeared on the internet that people can watch to see that new experience. But in 20 hours, 30 hours, however many hours it is now, people will be able to go buy Windows 8 and then just go into the Windows Store, the App Store in the cloud, and get the new Windows 8 Skype app. It works beautifully on tablets, beautifully on desktops, and there's a whole slew of new capabilities that I think people are going to really love. You don't have to have Skype running for it to know that someone is calling you. And so that's one really simple example of a beautiful thing that Skype for Windows 8 does, where you don't have to have it constantly running in the background. Your settings roam across your devices. There's some really wonderful things we've done. And October 26th is the day where the new Skype app is available on Windows 8.
Thank you.
One question there and then another one here. And this slide, okay. Then another one there. Thank you.
Yeah, we have already heard this before, but I needed to hear it from you. Are you guys going to continue using this metro concept, or you're going to look after another concept in order to spread it out?
We're really proud of this beautiful user interface. The new start screen, the live tiles, were a very bold step for Microsoft. And we've been so humbled by the positive reception that the design community has shown to this user interface. And we think it's very modern. We think it works really well for a digital world. You see us bringing it to tablets, to laptops, to desktops, to the Xbox TV, and to Windows Phone. We really are the only vendor, we're the only company that has a single user experience from the TV to the phone, to the tablet, to the laptop, to the desktop. And we're thrilled with it. And we're excited to bring it to the world. And yeah, that's it.
So one here, okay, and then
There's some in the back, I don't know if you can
Yes.
see. So who's next?
Over here. You've mentioned pretty much a Cambrian explosion of devices, to put it in evolutionary terms. Now,
Uh-oh, I think I have to go study my evolution. I don't know if I know what that means,
anyways,
but I get the gist.
there are competitors that have operating systems running on appliances that are in the home, such as refrigerators and such. Do you have any plans, or does Microsoft have any plans to go into that market as well with this new user interface, and perhaps empower some of these devices to share into this ecosystem?
Well, we are the market leader in what we call the embedded device operating system space. We have a team at Microsoft called the Windows Embedded Team, and they partner with hardware manufacturers who make very specialized vertical hardware solutions that use Windows inside. So whether it is a digital sign that you see out in the street, or whether it's a gas station where you fill up your car with gas, the vast majority of the world's sort of vertical hardware devices are running Windows embedded. Now, most of those have a very different user interface that doesn't typically have this type of screen real estate. But we're always looking for ways to use the core Windows in the Windows embedded platform. But if you think of a gas station with a tiny little screen, I don't think you'll see these live tiles anytime soon there. But it uses a lot of the core components of Windows that we use on our desktops for devices like that. I think one of the most amazing things about Windows that most of the press hasn't necessarily written about, and perhaps it's not interesting to the broad consumer, is just how incredibly flexible Windows is. We've moved Windows from the original, the original hobby computer that ran on a very old chip, a very basic chip, to now it runs on servers that are running, many processors and powering the network of the largest companies on the planet, and running their network infrastructure, to now running on a tablet, to now running on a phone, to running on a gas station little tiny screen. So if there's one thing about Windows that I don't think people get, it's how incredibly flexible that core operating system is. With Windows 8, we're bringing it to a new chipset with the ARM processor. We're bringing it to new screen types, and we've added touch. And it's just kind of amazing how incredibly flexible and pliable the Windows Core OS is. And I don't think you're seeing that from iOS or the Mac OS or Android. And it's a wonderful asset that Microsoft has to bring us into many markets. And the embedded device market is just another example. Most people don't even know we're in it, and yet we're the world leader in the embedded device space.
Thank you. So we have a question on the back. I think, yeah, and then you, okay? Or I don't know. Okay, very good. Thank you.
How are you working with the channels to teach them how to sell the new products? And are you going to make any certification, for example, Windows 8 training?
Yeah. So I look after our retail partners and our operator partners, telcos, and our OEM partners. And we have left no stone unturned to ready our partner ecosystem for Windows 8. We've trained hundreds of thousands of retail salespeople and retail demo people on how to explain the new Windows 8, so that on October 26th, in hundreds of countries around the world, people will be able to walk into retail stores and ask a salesperson, hey, tell me about Windows 8, what's new? What should I know about it? Why should I consider it? We've spent a lot of our energy training people around the world to do a great job. But it's not just about October 26th. It's actually training for retail and for operator happens day in and day out, because there are millions of people who have these jobs, and it will take some time for us to reach all of them. But our partners are incredibly enthusiastic about making Windows 8 successful. Every telco, every retail partner, every OEM partner I talk to, they want Windows 8 to be a massive success. It's not just Microsoft. So they're training up their own people. They're making sure that we can do a great job. We have training that we do in person, but we also have training that we do online. And we have a website called Expert Zone, where retail salespeople take digital training, videos, etc., and get different levels of certification, for basic knowledge to advanced knowledge. And the more training they get, the more certification they get, the more points they earn, and then they can spend those points on an Xbox. And so we have a pretty rigorous system for helping to train people, our channel partners, so that they can do a great job being advocates of Windows 8. Does that help?
So one Martina, and then approach.
How many applications will be available on Friday? How many of them will be free?
Do you mean the applications in the App Store?
Yes.
In the Windows Store?
Windows Store.
Yeah, the number changes every 5 minutes. The developer enthusiasm for Windows 8 is phenomenal, and there are a couple of reasons why. Number one, developers make more money on Windows than they do on Apple or Android. So the economics are better. Number two, developers know that within 1 year, we will likely sell 400 million Windows 8 devices. Those are what analysts predict. It's not a Microsoft number, that's an IDC or Gartner number or whatever. So 400 million Windows 8 devices is a bigger platform for them to sell their applications into than any other platform on the planet. So the economics for developers are better. The platform will be bigger in a very short order. And then the tools that we give developers, they tell us are the best tools in the industry. They can build more beautiful apps faster for Windows 8 than they can for iOS or for Android. So we think we've got 3 great reasons why the developer enthusiasm is so incredibly high. The Mexican team here took me through a whole slew of Mexican-specific applications, which was really fun for me to see, whether it was news and video and sports from Televisa, or whether it was Yellow Pages. I mean, there's just a slew of specific apps for Mexico, which was awesome for me to see. But we think that people's favorite apps will be available on day one, and then we know literally every 10 minutes, every 15 minutes, the number of apps grows and grows and grows and grows. And we're pretty excited about that. Developers are super excited for the reasons that I mentioned.
One question here.
You have so many flavors and different configurations and options in Windows 8. What's the pricing? How is it going to be? Are you going to have upgrades? Are you going to have pro versions? Are you going to have amateur gold versions?
Yeah, the Windows 8 SKUs are really simple. There are just 2 SKUs for the consumer, and you can find all the details of those on our website. We've made those all available. The vast majority of people buy Windows with a brand new machine. If you look at the number of people who will get Windows 8, the vast majority will be just buying a new piece of hardware. But we have an upgrade offer for people to buy Windows 8 to put on their Windows 7 machine. You can get that at retail stores, you can get that online. And then there's 2 flavors of Windows for consumers. And so I think it's actually quite simple. We've done a lot of work to make it simple. Now, our OEM partners build many, many different types of devices, and they control their own pricing of their devices. So when you walk into a retail store, some retail stores will choose to only have 10 computers, and they will carefully select those 10 computers and try to make them the very best they think are available. I visited stores in Russia where they're very proud that they have 400 computers in the store. And for them, they think that's very important, that a Russian consumer can walk in and feel like there's absolutely everything they can possibly want. So different cultures around the world take a different approach for which machines they show to a consumer. For us, we've kept it super simple. There's 2 Windows SKUs, there's an upgrade if you're an old Windows user, and that's it.
So let's do one here and then from there. Okay. We got that.
Have you calculated what would be the learning curve for average consumer, and have you taken into consideration different scenarios? Like, for example, somebody from Windows Vista to Windows 8 will be the learning curve, and the same thing from Windows 7 and so on.
Yeah, we think the learning curve's pretty modest. You know, the fact that there's the desktop app right there means it's one click to the UI that you're used to. We know that the new user interface, you know, people love it. It's incredibly beautiful. It's incredibly fast. But it's also a change for people who are used to the old style. And with any new technology, there's some curve to go from the old to the new. We've put in hundreds of thousands of hours in usability testing Windows 8 with Windows 7 users, Windows Vista users, Windows XP users, Mac users, everybody. And we found that with a couple of tips on how to use Windows 8, people get very comfortable very fast. The tip of knowing that you slide from the left-hand side to get to the charms. The tip of knowing that you use the mouse to point to the 4 corners to get to the components you need. We found that once people know the 4 corners and the 4 sides, they get very comfortable very fast. So we've built a video into Windows 8 so that every Windows 8 machine, when you turn it on, the first thing you see is that video. We've built a simple brochure that goes in the box of every Windows 8 device. Well, at retail, we'll have those tips among all the tables that you're shopping for PCs on. We think we've done a really, really good job balancing our desire to have a big, bold, beautiful new way of working with our desire to bring people forward from the old style to the new style. And the video, with the 4 corners and the 4 sides, has really shown to be very, very effective. And we feel pretty good about people being able to make that change. Thank you.
Okay.
Hi.
Are you prepared to serve millions of Surface to the first-time users of tablets with Windows 8 right now?
We're really excited about Surface. We can't wait to see what consumers think about it. The enthusiasm around the product has been really, really wonderful. We'll see, obviously, how it goes. We've never sold one before, so it'll be a first for us. And I think it's kind of early to make any predictions other than the enthusiasm and the interest in the product, even though no one's ever touched it, is actually incredibly high. But we're just at the very beginning, so we'll see how it goes. We're really proud of it. The hardware is gorgeous. The reception to the hardware has been amazing. But we'll see what the next months tell us, and we'll learn a lot in the next few months.
Are we going to see it anytime soon in Latin America?
Well, we've announced the countries that we're making Surface available in. We don't have any new news to share. Obviously, we'll see how things go in those countries. I know that a lot of people will buy it and bring it into whatever country they live in. So from that perspective, I think you'll see it. But we'll wait and see how we do with the countries that we are making it available in. We are a global company. We like our products to be available in as many markets as we can possibly get them. But we also want to be careful about how we expand to make sure we're learning from the first markets and then going from there. So we'll wait and see. No new news other than what we've already announced in terms of product availability.
We have one question here and then one there.
Hi. Do you want me to look at you or do you want to look at the camera?
I speak English, but I'm gonna ask you
In Spanish, go for it.
Cuando Intel nos contó acerca del Ultrabook, ellos dijeron que el mercado de PC iba a renacer con Ultrabook y no lo lograron. O sea, las ventas de Ultrabook han sido muy bajas. El hardware no lo logró. Ustedes con el software van a lograrlo. ¿Qué porcentaje de expectativas tienen?
So are we going to, with Windows 8, with the software going to succeed where Intel couldn't
with the hardware?
Tell me more about how Intel didn't succeed. I don't know what you mean.
Because they said they were going to improve a lot the PC market with the Ultrabooks, but people is not buying Ultrabooks as they want.
As Intel wanted.
Exactly.
I see.
Yeah. So I want to know which are your expectations? Is the software going to make what the hardware couldn't?
Well, I think these devices are all about the combination of a really beautiful piece of software. I think the success of Windows 8 will be fantastic. We're very excited about it. But it isn't just about the software. Windows 8 is really about reimagining Windows from the chips that it runs on to the types of hardware that our hardware partners can build. And whether that's a laptop or a tablet or a desktop or a convertible, we're seeing amazing innovation in the hardware design itself. And so we think it's the combination of the software plus the hardware plus fantastic apps that developers build to let people do anything that they want. It can't be one ingredient. It has to be how all those things come together. And we're quite positive about the reception that Windows 8 has had so far, and we're quite excited to see the results that we'll realize in the coming months.
But which are your expectations? Do you have numbers, statistics?
No. Great success is my expectation. Windows is used by over 1 billion people today. We want that number to grow. That won't be something where 1 billion people run out and buy the new version on October 26th. Of course, we know that. But we'd love to expand the number of users that use Windows. We are expanding the types of hardware that it runs on, from the phone to the tablet. So we think it's really definitely possible. But I don't have a financial projection to make. I'm the chief marketing officer, not the chief financial officer. But based on the reception we see from our partners and the enthusiasm we hear from consumers, we certainly think we have a wonderful success on our hands with Windows 8. But time will tell. Predictions don't really matter. It's the results that we actually generate with our partners and with the products that we build that matter.
A hard question. How do you know Windows 8 won't be the next Vista?
Won't be the next one?
Vista.
Well, I think the quality of the product is very clear. 16 million people have downloaded the preview versions of Windows 8, which make it the most tested operating system the world has ever seen. People who have played with it, the press, journalists, product reviewers have certainly said it's the best version of Windows ever created. So I feel like the early indications tell us that this is a world-class product. They tell us that it's the best operating system the world has ever seen. Thank you.
So I have a bunch of questions.
One more regarding numbers.
Okay.
The 400 million devices that you said were
IDC. That's an IDC forecast for the PC market.
For the first year? Or
Yeah, in a year.
Okay.
In a year.
So we have a question here.
Do you have a special business plan for Latin American countries? I ask this because for us, at least in my country, in Ecuador, the technology gets there very slowly. And we have your competitors are increasing their sales more and more and more. You can see we have more iPhones and iPads more than your product. How do you have a special plan together to make people buy a new device with Windows 8, or you're going to see how it works in the rest of the world?
No, I mean, Windows 8 is available on October 26th in hundreds of countries around the world. We don't have the issue on Windows that some of our competitors do with their devices, where they introduce it in a certain number of countries and then it takes a really long time to get to the rest of the world. Windows 8 on October 26th will be available in hundreds of countries, and I'm sure Ecuador is no
Do you have a
exception.
special
Yeah,
plan for?
absolutely. I just wanted to make sure you knew, like, it's going to be available. People can go buy it in 30 hours or whatever the time is, minus October 26th. But we have an unprecedented marketing campaign that's going to be available in 40 plus countries around the world. I couldn't tell you every single country in Latin America that'll be available in, but more countries than we've ever done before will be telling the story of Windows 8. You saw some of the videos playing when you walked in here that sort of highlight the product. We will definitely be telling the world that Windows 8 is available. Not just telling a few countries and then hoping it trickles down. We'll be telling everybody. And the marketing that we'll do is far more global, far more expansive than we've ever done before. And I think you'll see that, hopefully, in your country in just the coming days.
One there. Yeah.
Okay. How easy will it be for a developer in countries like ours, developing countries, to access to the market to offer their applications?
The wonderful news about the Windows 8 and the Windows Store is that a developer in over 200 countries will be able to has been able to build an application using the preview version and submit it to the Windows Store. We are then able to take a look at that application, hopefully approve it, put it in the store, and then it's available to customers literally around the world in something like 252 different countries, just using a Windows 8 machine connected to the Windows Store. If you're a developer that doesn't have any e-commerce capabilities, you take advantage of the e-commerce capabilities built into the Windows Store. And if you have a hit application on your hands, you will make more money on the Windows 8 platform than you will make on Android or on Apple. So if you're a developer that has your own e-commerce capabilities, you don't have to use the e-commerce capabilities built into the Windows 8 store. You can use your own, and you can totally avoid using Microsoft except for distributing the bits. So it's a really developer-friendly global approach. Any developer can put their app into the Windows Store, assuming it's approved, and then take advantage of our distribution and our e-commerce capabilities. But you don't have to use our e-commerce capabilities like you do with Apple, and that's why we think developers will be more excited to build for Windows than they will for iOS or for Android. Better economics, better reach, more choice for the developer itself. We also support far more business models. We support try before you buy. We support free with one click to buy. We support a lot of things that you can't get on the other platforms that make a developer in any country around the world be able to say, wow, that gives me way more tools without me having to spend any money than any other platform. And we think that's a winner for us.
Oh, thanks. And we have a question there, right?
Yeah, you mentioned something about dealing with not only the channel partners, but also the telcos.
They are a channel partner.
Right. Are you dealing with telcos regarding more available connected devices, such as convertibles and such, that already also come with 3G or LTE capabilities?
So we're talking with telco partners around the world. I had a chance to meet with Telmex while I was here, and every country I go to, I meet with at least one telco, and the enthusiasm they have for these devices is really high. One of the great things we've done with Windows 8 is to make it very easy for a telco to build a custom app that's specific to their network right into Windows 8. So when you go to the connections part of the operating system where you're choosing how to connect to the internet, if you were to choose their network, their application automatically launches. And so all of a sudden, you have access to Telmex's backend, the data plan, you want to top off your plan, you want to pay your plan, you can do that through their app that they built that's accessible right from the connection setting built into every single device. Now they're working with the OEM partners, not Microsoft. They work with Acer or HP or Samsung to decide if they want to embed a 3G network card or a 4G network card into the hardware itself. We've built Windows so that is absolutely possible, but it's up to our OEM partner and the telco to actually discuss how much do they want that, how much would that change the price of the PC, and that's something that it's our job to provide the platform for it to be possible, but then they will have that conversation with HP or Samsung or Acer or Lenovo or whoever to decide whether or not they want to do that. And I'm finding that most telcos, while they're interested in doing that, it isn't a requirement. A lot of the tablet devices use wireless, and that for a lot of people is a perfectly reasonable way to get onto the internet. It's not as much of a cell phone where you know, the phone is useless unless it connects up to the network in some way. So it's an interesting dialogue, but it's not something where it's a must-have for a telco to get excited about one of these types of devices. But Windows 8 absolutely supports it.
So one on the front, one on the back, and then one here. Okay.
Wow. Discussing user experience, you mentioned the Apple, and Apple has one experience for desktop, one for the iPad, and one for Apple TV. While
we have one.
Yeah.
Did I mention that yet?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you've heard. I'm not sure if you've heard that there's the start screen with these live tiles.
Do you think that's a true advantage? I mean, for instance, I know that with an iPad, I can get some things done, but not other things.
Right.
And sometimes, or maybe a user can feel that he can do the same with that Acer that with a Surface or an RT, which will not be able to. Do you think it's an advantage, this one single experience?
Well, I think the world is moving to, I think consumers are choosing devices for the beauty of the device and what they can get done on the device, but they're also choosing devices for the ecosystem that the device is part of. Mm-hmm. And so a tablet that's part of the Xbox world is really exciting to people who love Xbox. And the ability to watch TV through your Xbox and then watch it on your tablet and watch it on your phone and watch it on your Acer laptop, that is absolutely an advantage. The single user interface from Xbox to phone to tablet to laptop to PC is absolutely an advantage. But I don't think it's necessarily the first thing that somebody thinks of. First, people think about the device. They think about, oh, I really want an Xbox this Christmas, or I really want Halo 4 this Christmas, or I really want a new Windows 8 tablet this Christmas, or I really want a Surface this Christmas. But more and more, the ecosystem that that device is part of does start playing into the decision. The fact that Xbox Music will be across all these devices, 30 million songs across all those devices, across your Xbox, across your tablet, across your phone, that definitely plays into the decision process, but I don't think it's the first thing people use as the decision criteria. It's part of the process. And so having these devices all be part of a single ecosystem with a single user interface, with a single back end, that's without a doubt an important thing for us.
Okay.
Hi.
Sorry, I think.
Yeah, you're the man.
Yeah, we have one in the back, sorry. And then we come here and we have. Yeah, we get there.
We have upgrade kits from Windows 7 to Windows 8.
The what?
Upgrade kits.
Upgrades?
Windows 7 to Windows 8. We cost the same in every country.
Well, there's always these currency differences. We don't have a single, we don't make everyone pay in dollars. So it's always, I don't think you can say yes to that question because, any day that the currency moves between the peso and the dollar, if you were to compare the upgrade in the US to the upgrade in Mexico, it could be different. But in general, the prices are going to be incredibly similar from country to country to country, but there'll always be some currency fluctuation. But yeah, in general, yes, but people pay in local currency.
Okay, when some user buys the kits by internet, will buy it in dollars or in local currency?
I think it depends on what site they go to and what that commerce partner allows them to do, right? So there's many places to go get these products. One of the things we try to do is to make sure that distribution is never an issue for us. We want people to just be able to go buy Windows and Office and Xbox in a lot of different places. And as a result, I think you'll find different price points, and some sites might let you buy in dollars and ship to Mexico, and some sites won't. So I don't think Microsoft can really have an answer to that question. It depends on where you shop.
Hi.
Hi.
Yesterday we were talking, you have a great product, SkyDrive.
Thank you.
That I think haven't been, or at least I see that a lot of people don't understand how it works and it's not used. How are you planning to link Windows 8 with the cloud experience and SkyDrive, and how do you promote that?
Great. Windows 8 was designed to be cloud connected from the very start. So that means when you turn on a Windows 8 machine, it asks you to log in with your Microsoft account. And as soon as you do that, we create a SkyDrive for you with 7 gigabytes of free storage. It means all of your files and your photographs all get stored in that SkyDrive hard drive in the cloud. When you move to a second device and you log in with your Microsoft account, it automatically connects you up to that exact same SkyDrive. So you have access to the exact same documents. It's not a separate thing. It moves with you. Yeah, it moves with you from device to device to device. When I log into my Windows phone, it automatically goes off to my SkyDrive and gets my Office documents and connects me to them. The beautiful thing about SkyDrive is nobody ever needs to even know the name of the app. It's just there, it's just in the background, it's just part of what makes the Windows 8 experience really wonderful. It's free, 7 gigabytes of storage for everybody, but honestly, we just want you to use your Windows devices, and SkyDrive will do magical things for you. It roams your browser settings. So when I add a new favorite to Internet Explorer or to whatever browser I use, it'll roam that setting, that favorite, to all my devices. You see on my personal machine here, if I can close this down, give me a second. I have a picture of my daughter on my desktop. If I were to go to a second machine and log in, boom, the picture of my daughter is right there. A third machine, if I change it to a picture of my older daughter, not my younger daughter, all my other machines, they just change. We're using SkyDrive to roam your settings and your documents from machine to machine to machine. So we think talking about the device in Windows 8 is the first priority, and then over time people will start to realize, wow, this stuff just moves around all my devices. Do I have to have consumers know it's this thing called SkyDrive? Not necessarily. Do I want them to know that this is connected to the cloud and it makes the experience phenomenal? Absolutely. So it's a secondary importance. It's a primary importance to the Windows 8 experience, but I'm not on a mission as the marketing leader to make sure every consumer knows SkyDrive, SkyDrive, SkyDrive. Frankly, it's a magic ingredient in the experience. It's not like Xbox, it's not like Halo, it's not like Windows Phone, it's not like Windows 8. Those are products that people will go out and buy. They'll ask for it to be put in their stocking, their Christmas stocking. Does this make sense?
Under the tree.
Under the tree? Great, under the tree. Fantastic. They'll ask for it for graduation presents. They'll never ask for a SkyDrive account, just like they'll never ask for an iCloud account. Right? These are all things that make the experience magical, but it doesn't necessarily mean everyone has to know the name.
Microsoft announced recently that there's not going to be any more support to Windows XP. Many corporate companies in the world, especially in Latin America, decided to stay for reason. They consider the XP machines for the corporate. Is Windows 8 going to be compatible with this equipment, or are they going to have to change the equipment for them to have
We have a compatibility tool that you can run on any existing piece of hardware that'll tell you if Windows 8 will run on the XP machine. There are certainly some XP machines we won't run on, because you could buy XP for like 10 years, and there will be some that we will be able to run on. So that will help CIOs or their teams figure out if they have old hardware that they can't upgrade to Windows 8, or if they can. We have an incredibly generous support policy. I mean, we support our software for a very, very long time. And big customers can even buy extended support, which goes beyond the regular crazy long support that we provide. I would hold our support policies up to any competitor, and I think you'll find they're far, far better. But at some point, yeah, hardware does expire. At some point, hard drives do fail, and motherboards do fail, and it's time to buy new computers. And I think that Windows 8, is certainly the time to buy a new computer if you're running Windows XP, which is, it's literally a decade old. Now, it's great that they've been able to get a decade of life out of it, and they might even be able to get longer out of it. But come on, at some point, you got to believe in modernizing the tools you give your employees. And we think Windows 8 is the time.
I need to show you right from USB.
In most of our countries, children don't have a computer at home. Instead, they have to learn how to use it at school.
Yeah.
And you told us about learning programs for retailers and others, but I want to know if you have learning programs for teachers.
For teachers to use. Oh, absolutely. We have incredible curriculum that teachers can use not only to get up to speed on Windows themselves, but also to use in the classroom with their kids. The amazing thing is, kids are the least problematic when it comes to learning something new. My 4-year-old can use Windows 8 unbelievably well. She cannot read and she cannot write. She's 4. And I'm not upset about that. There's plenty of time for her to learn how to read and write. But she's way better at using Windows 8 than I think much older people. So Microsoft is not at all concerned about kids being able to just walk up to this device and start playing with it and start just discovering how to use it. But we do think it's a great responsibility we have to work with academic institutions, to work with teachers, to work with our partners, to build really wonderful content. And Office is the #1 tool used in schools around the world for students to get their schoolwork done. And we've created just reams of content for free that people can just go download and use as part of their curriculum to teach kindergarten all the way through college. And that's something we're excited about.
And do you have an example of work together Windows with a school in one of our countries?
Oh my gosh, we have so many examples. I'll turn it over to the local team to give you examples. But these are some of the most inspiring stories you'll ever find. The work we've done with our partners to get technology into the hands of kids, get it into the hands of teachers. There are wonderful examples of distance learning, where kids can't go to school because they're too far away from school and it's too hard for them to get there. And by getting them to a local community center where they have a computer connected to the internet using Skype, they can now be part of a kindergarten class that they weren't going to be part of. Kids who are sick and in a hospital can still be part of their school using technology, using Skype, using PCs. It's an amazing story. So we'd be happy to follow up and share specific LATAM examples that I might not know off the top of my head.
Yeah, so let's use the time to close and follow up. One here and one there, and then we close. Okay? Yeah? Okay.
I would ask you if Smart Class is going to be released on Friday and if it's going to work on every platform that you're launching. I mean, Surface, RT, and Windows RT, the phones. And if you know about Xbox in other countries of Latin America, such as Argentina, where it's not present.
So Smart Class is available in the store on October 26th, just like Xbox Music is available in the store. Xbox Smart Class is available on October 26th, just like Xbox Music is. And it'll be available on all the Windows platforms, Windows 8, Windows RT, Windows Phone. Absolutely, we're really excited about that. The team also announced that they're working on Smart Class for other operating systems, Apple, Android, so that you can use Smart Class on all the devices you already own.
Which is Friday. It's not going to
correct. That'll be later. Friday is Windows phones, Windows tablets, Windows 8, broadly speaking, is Friday. I don't think I got the second part of your question, so please.
Xbox 360 is not present in Argentina. Do you have any announcements regarding that?
Well, we're really excited that Xbox 360 is available in Puerto Rico, in Chile, in Colombia, in Brazil, and in Mexico. We get 5. We're excited about those 5. Brazil was really exciting for us last year. We opened up a manufacturing facility, blah, 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 blah. It's been great. I have no new news to share with you relative to other Latin American countries or other expansion plans we have for Xbox, but we've been thrilled with the reception of Xbox. We want Xbox to be super global. Please stay tuned for more news, but I don't have any news to make other than the amazing amount of news I've already made today. But we of course would like it to be as many places as we can do it very well.
Nice media training, by the way.
Thank you. I worked hard. The team has had to be locked away for like 6 hours. What are you going to say if they ask this question? Chile, Brazil, Mexico, and Puerto Rico. Those are my 5. The next time I come back, maybe the list will be longer.
Those words.
Our last question, please.
Hello, Chris. You said that an unknown number of applications are being created right now all over the world.
Yes.
But at least, do you have an idea of how many apps will be available on Windows Store on Friday? And one more thing. Sorry. I read that there's going to be some kind of free trial of paid application for the first users of Windows 8. Is that right?
So I can't give you an exact number on Friday. We still have hours to go, and literally the numbers are changing every time we look, which is great. I'm not going to give you a range. I'm going to encourage you to go on October 26th. I'm going to encourage you. Sorry. I'm going to encourage you to buy a beautiful new Windows 8 machine on October 26th and explore the store and find the applications that hopefully you love and discover some new ones you've never heard of. And I think we'll have a wonderful set of applications available. The app developer, whoever builds the app, gets to decide what business model they use for the app. They can decide that the app costs $50. They can decide that the app is free for 60 days and then you have to pay. They can decide that you get to launch the app 10 times and then you have to pay. The ability for the developer, not Microsoft, to decide what the business model for their app is unbelievably flexible on the Windows platform. Will there be free trials that then turn into paid? I'm sure. I'm sure there'll be many of them. Will there be apps that are completely free? Absolutely. Will there be apps that there is no free trial and the app developer wants you to pay right out of the chute? I'm sure someone's going to do that too. The number of developers that are building for the Windows Store is massive. And I think you're going to see every possible business model you can possibly imagine, from free to paid, from trial to paid, to ad funded where you never pay, to no, you're going to have to pay right away, to requiring you to have a subscription service like Netflix. You're not going to be able to stream anything from Netflix unless you subscribe to Netflix. So it's a free app, but they make you pay the subscription. So I think you're going to see it all, and you get to see it in just a very short number of hours, and I can't wait. Thank you all very much for your time. I really appreciate it, and enjoy the next couple of days.